Fade in. Hello, I am Michelle.
And I'm Natalie the Red.
And we are Force of I Entertainment. Well, we wanted to talk about what began to trend over this weekend, and that was people, and I'm sure most of them are Snyder fans. As you know, we're Snyder fans. But I was kind of surprised when I got on Twitter, and all of a sudden, you saw people expressing their desire for Ben Affleck to come back and play Batman. And with the hashtag make the Batfleck movie and hashtag Batfleck movie or just Batfleck, it began to trend as again people began to express their desire for Ben Affleck to come back to this role. And this is something we're going to get into what we think maybe they could do if they wanted to do something with Ben Affleck again as Batman. And it's definitely something that we're going to want to hear your comments below on, do you want Ben Affleck back as Batman, and kind of what, as you see what we give you different options, which one you would like.
We know Twitter lets their thoughts be known. They're never shy about that, so we want to know your thoughts in the comments.
Yes. So definitely share below. But anyways, Ben Affleck, as we all know, or many of us know, he was supposed to get his own Batman movie back before we had Robert Pattinson cast as this new Batman that's not actually in the DCEU, but on Earth 2, I believe they've said. It's getting confusing, guys. But I mean, for the mainstream audience, I think. But anyways, between the bad reception of Justice League, the Justice League that came out in 2017, and of course even Batman v Superman at the time when it came out in 2016, and then also the personal problems that he was experiencing in his life, going between a divorce, which some of that might have been self-inflicted, but also because of the drinking problems he had. And I know he went to rehab, I believe.
Good for him.
But because of everything he was going on, he stepped back fully from Batman and just kind of seemed to be emotionally done with it and didn't want really anything to do with it at that point. And that's when, of course, they went on to cast Robert Pattinson and kind of do this new thing they're doing with that. But at this point, we have been told that he is supposed to appear kind of as his last hurrah as Batman, which, let's see, he's been in Batman. He's played Batman now 3 times, I believe, between Batman v Superman. He has that small cameo at the beginning of Suicide Squad and then Justice League. But he was supposed to make his 4th and final appearance in this new Flash movie that seems to be a disaster that never can get going. But he came back with the Snyderverse release. We know that he came back to film some additional scenes. And it's kind of made me wonder, especially seeing now people's response and kind of desire for him, would he have any desire maybe to not just be a one and done with the Flash, but maybe to come back and get his own movie? And back when they were talking about his own movie, he was supposed to have a lot of creative control, maybe even direct it himself if he wanted, but definitely have writing and that type of control and ability to kind of do what he wants, which is interesting.
He does what he wants.
He does. But with Ben Affleck finally getting a time to shine where people really appreciate what he did and really seem to appreciate the Snyder cut of Justice League, would it maybe make him want to come back and get his own movie again and kind of do his own Batman and get what we've all kind of wanted? Because, I don't know how you guys feel, and you can let us know below. When he was first cast for Batman v Superman, I wasn't super excited about it because I've never been a huge Affleck fan.
I had my doubts personally.
Yes, but I think he did a very good job. And in fact, he has some of the best Batman moments, I think, of all time, really, especially in Batman v Superman.
I think even though him and Christian Bale are probably around the same age.
Yes, I think they are.
I would say they probably are, but I think people maybe enjoyed, I mean, maybe I don't mean to speak for people, but kind of like an older, more mature Batman that had been through some, I mean, of course Batman has always been through some stuff.
But this one had really been through some stuff.
Batfleck had really been through some stuff. So I think that kind of resonated with people, kind of seeing him a little more vulnerable and a little older.
And a little more jaded.
But
I
think it worked.
It did work. And people were kind of wanting, I think, after that to see him get his own movie to shine in.
Right.
And of course, we understand with his life problems, stepping away and all that. But with his life kind of being back on track, and with fans now appreciating him again, and I believe he said that he took this role originally for his children anyways, Could he come back? And that's what we're going to discuss, because I think there's kind of two options possible here. And of course, all of this is dependent.
Hang with us. We've got some options.
Yes, all of this is dependent on, would Warner Brothers even greenlight this at this point? Which he has. Ben Affleck has a good relationship with Warner Brothers, because Argo and other movies he's done have all been within the Warner Brothers family. So he seems to have a good working relationship with them. But would they greenlight it, seeing how they're kind of a little snooty about the Snyderverse and the fans behind it? And of course, Batfleck is a part of the Snyderverse. So would they greenlight it? And would Ben Affleck want to come back? And because he does have to get in tremendous shape to play this role, and it is taxing to be Batman. So it's up to those two things before any of this even matters. One, would Ben Affleck want to? And secondly, would Warner's greenlight it? But I think with that, if that was yes and yes, I think there are two possibilities that could be exciting. And the first one just being, a theatrical release movie, or a movie for HBO Max, kind of a one and done, kind of that Batfleck movie.
I could definitely see the HBO Max route.
For even just a movie?
Yes.
Yeah, they could do that. And the reason I don't think they would go theatrical release with that is because we've got the Robert Pattinson Batman coming out.
So you don't really want to have two Batmans theatrical releases.
Yes, because DC fans like us, and like I'm sure people watching this video, you're going to understand that there's Earth 1 and Earth 2, but mainstream audiences aren't, and that would just get kind of confusing.
Yeah.
So I don't really see that option being a logical one for Warner Brothers and DC. But I do have a good one that I actually, for a lot of things.
Now I'm interested. I want to know what you've got, Shell.
For a lot of things, I prefer a theatrical release of big things like Batman and stuff like that. I love going to the movies.
Shell's a theater lover.
Yes, I love going to the movies. That shared experience is wonderful. But this is one of the few occasions, if Ben Affleck would come back and play this older Batman character, I think it would be so cool if they think of what they could do on HBO Max.
Yeah.
And do maybe like a 6, 8, 12 episode season.
Ooh.
And give them like a Game of Thrones budget.
Yeah.
And here's why I'd say that. Because look at all the trilogies of Batman. Even in like the Nolan trilogy, you get some really good villains, and Joker, Scarecrow, Bane, different ones like that. But Batman has the best rogues gallery of any comic character that there is. I just don't think that's even an argument. I mean, the villains in Batman and the surrounding characters around Batman are just so beloved and awesome.
Yeah.
So an HBO Max show would give you the ability, you could bring Jared Leto's Joker back in, because it is kind of that Snyderverse.
Kind of more time to nurture each character, not just spend exclusively time with Batman predominantly, but
really, I mean, you could spend a lot of time with them,
but kind of have more time for other characters.
Well, yeah, and what I'm saying is cast someone as Scarecrow, cast someone as Penguin in this universe, as Riddler. I mean, there's just so many
options.
Dr. Freeze, if you wanted. There's so many.
Dr. Freeze.
But you could do it a lot better than the other version.
The 2021 or 22 version would probably be quite different.
Poison Ivy, bring Catwoman. There's just so many great characters within the Batman universe, and a TV show would give you the time to bring them all in.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys that are big fans, think of the Batman animated series. I mean, that's what makes it good, is you have time to bring in all these main villains that we all know and love into that. So we love them, I think, too, because of that show, but you could do that almost in live action. And I just think that is a really interesting option. I mean, do you?
I really like it. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. TV is so hot right now.
Yes.
In the words of, what's that movie with Ben Stiller?
Zoolander. Hansel is so hot right now.
But it really is. It's having a moment. And it has been for a few years. But I told Michelle, I said on a podcast with some of our friends the other night, I see that just continuing to go.
Yeah.
Move forward.
Well, and HBO Max is really just an offshoot of HBO. And I mean, look at HBO. They brought people like Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson, kind of kicked it off of big stars coming onto the smaller screen.
Nicole Kidman,
Yes.
Reese Witherspoon, Zoe Kravitz,
Yeah.
Laura Dern,
Yeah.
Meryl Streep. Should I go on?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like Amy Adams. It's just like so many different big actors and actresses coming on to HBO, which of course HBO Max is an offshoot of at this point.
And high quality productions.
Yes, very high quality productions. I mean, think of Game of Thrones. I mean, there's so much money in Game. Think of, I know it's Netflix, but think of a show like The Crown. I mean, the amount of money poured into that.
Yeah.
So if they could get a really good budget, I think you could make a phenomenal like Batman series and bring in all these beloved characters and really flesh out this universe in a way you can't do in a 2-hour movie.
We're just saying the possibilities are kind of endless.
I think it would be so cool. And it would be a way to, yes, restore the Snyderverse, to keep that open and keep that going. Which, you know, they're kind of doing anyways because of Aquaman 2 and Wonder Woman and The Flash. So I just think it would be awesome. And you know, Ben Affleck, for those of you who say, well, maybe, you know, he would snub his nose at that. I mean, he has been on a Netflix movie. I mean, so.
Well, and the list we just listed off a moment ago. I
mean, it's not a snub in today's time.
It's not like a thing like it used to be. That's what I'm saying. TV's so hot, like it's crossing over.
Yeah, it is. So that's kind of my two things. But again, I want to hear what you guys think. Do you guys want, you know, let us know in the comments. Do you want hashtag make the Batfleck movie or hashtag Batfleck back? You know, what do you guys want? Let us know below, and let us know, would you rather have like a traditional theatrical release or a 2-hour movie on HBO Max? Or would you be interested in what I think would be cool of kind of like a series that allows them to really flesh out and bring in all these different villains and characters? So just let us know below.
HBO, if you need to call her, she's right here. She's available.
Yeah, so
she can give you some great ideas.
Yeah, so just kind of share your thoughts below, guys. But that's kind of it for our thoughts on this. Again, I just saw it trending. I was like, oh, well, that's kind of cool, because I do want the hashtag restore the Snyderverse. I think there's a lot cool story to be told there. But I think this could be really awesome if he would. And again, it all depends. Does Warner's want to do it? Does Ben Affleck want to do it? But he is beginning to get some love from this character in a way he didn't used to in the past. So I think he could possibly come back with things being a little better in his life. So we'll see. But that is it for this show, A Force of Light Entertainment. And guys, as always, remember to be a force of light. All right, bye guys.